First, this gentleman from Massachusetts seek recognition.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to address the House for 5 minutes in my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last year, when an energy capacity auction increased certain rates in my region from $1 billion to $3 billion, I asked the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to take a close look at those prices and determine whether they were fairly set for consumers. During the review, FERC had only 4 sitting commissioners and deadlocked 2-2. That meant that rates went into effect by operation of law, and consumers were left with no avenue to appeal. To me, that is unacceptable. So I introduced the Fair Rates Act to ensure that ratepayers are guaranteed an opportunity to have their voices heard. Unfortunately, last week, Commissioner Philip Mueller stepped down, again leaving FERC with just 4 commissioners. Without a confirmation or even a nomination for a 5th commissioner in sight, we find ourselves in the same situation. FERC, once again, is reviewing rising rates in my region and, once again, is at risk of a deadlock that would leave consumers holding the bag. That's why we must pass fair rates today. Since last year's auction, our rates have jumped another $1 billion. $3 billion is too steep an increase for my constituents to pay because Congress will not act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia seek recognition?
Request unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute and to revise my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I come to the floor today to commend my colleagues in the House for passing a second National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA. The President's decision to veto Congress's first NDAA was nothing more than a cheap political ploy and marked the first time a president vetoed the NDAA for non-policy reasons. Today's NDAA authorizes funding to expand Fort Gordon to accommodate future